it's just a game. We'll play the part, but it won't be the same. They have a habit overcharging, forcing the hand into a plea bargain. Offered up a plea deal, but I didn't do it for real. Turn the world against me, but I just wanna be free. I've got the facts, they've got the lies. Motion denied. They say they've got so much evidence. Trace DNA is taking precedence over unknown blood found at the scene. I think it's time someone just came clean. Offered up a plea deal, but I didn't do it for real. Turn the world against me, but I just wanna be free. I've got the facts, they've got the lies. Motion denied. Been sentenced to death. I'm not a bad guy, not holding my breath. Rather do life than offered up a plea deal, but I didn't do it for real. Turn the world against me, but I just wanna be free. I've got the facts, they've got the lies. Motion the night. Motion the night. Motion the night. Motion the night. The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood, blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway
All right, welcome everybody to a Crimes After Dark on Friday night. Can I get somebody give me a thumbs up backstage? We're good to go with the sound perfect. We are missing some people tonight. Holy shit, it's so weird not having Dago on from True Crime Cafe. We're missing JJ right now. I think JJ is on his way, so we should have him coming here soon. So we got a little bit of a different crew. We've got Logan, Bronx Tales, True Crime backstage. We got Robin, we got 1-1. So we got most of the crew, but it just feels off when one of our family is missing. By the way, I wanted to give a moment to say a heartfelt sorrow for the death of Chuck Norris. That was a true legend that I grew up with. I watched so much Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris jokes are the best ever. Like Chuck Norris is, we could spend all night long telling Chuck Norris jokes. They're amazing. However, Chuck Norris has passed. From what I am seeing online everywhere, it seems true, and it's very sad. The circumstances, I guess, the family is keeping tight-lipped about, from what I understand. Maybe you guys know more than I do. But anyways, so sad day for me. And if you guys want to talk any about Chuck Norris, that would be great with me. I watched so much in my childhood, was a lot of Chuck Norris. Anyway, so we've got a good show for Friday night. I got some stuff to talk about. I had a big video come out today where I was breaking down old videos that have been around for a long time, the roommates of Dark-Kopacka, but I did a breakdown of some of the thoughts and some of the new things that I kind of was like, hey, wait a minute, why did she say that? So I thought I'd share that with the panel a little bit for some open discussion. Logan's got some stuff that she wanted to share with various cases and maybe cold cases that had some updates and stuff like that. So we'll just throw some variety in. It's a Friday night. We'll fucking do it live. And then afterwards, by the way, I think I'm probably going to hang out in members only. And because I'm going to hang out in members only, while it's only $3, and I do encourage you, if you've got an extra $3 in your thing and you know, it's like half of a coffee, it's like nothing. If you got an extra $3, sign up, subscribe. But if you hang out, there's a chance that you can get a free gift membership, because I'll hand out 5 or so maybe gift memberships tonight, because I'll be doing a members only live after the show and hanging out with people on an Ask Me Anything, kind of hang out and have fun after the show. It's low attendance, therefore high participation, and you're welcome to come on camera with us. So I'll throw out some gift memberships as well tonight for those who want to join us. Okay, enough of a rant. I practically did a monologue all by myself. By the way, I will say one more thing before I bring my panel on. We had an incident last night where I got my feelers hurt. I'm an emotional guy. Here's the thing. I've never been anyone's first choice for a date. I realize it. Like, hey, you want to go to movies tonight? Hey, Brad, the college football coach asked me out. I think I'll wait. Say sorry. I'm always the second choice. And so last night somebody said, hey, I'm out of here. Birdie's going live and he's got a guest. I'm out. And I realized so many people, by the way, I don't even want to say the person's name because I don't want to call them out. So many people came to your defense. They said she didn't mean it that way. It came out wrong. And so I got my feelers hurt because I'm like, wow, you came on here and literally told me you've got a better date, so you're going to go somewhere else. And it never feels good to be somebody's second date. I apologize, however, for taking it so seriously. It was just a really weird day. A lot of things were happening to me, and having somebody tell me, hey, I'll see you later, Birdie's on, I got to leave, didn't sit right. But again, everybody came to your defense. So they said, holy shit, she didn't mean it that way. And I know that I just wanted to say that we accept your apology, and I probably shouldn't have been a little pansy. Anyways, all right, let's bring Robin on to counter that. What do you think, Robin?
Well, hello there. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, so we appreciate, that, and we do know this person to be a very supportive and a sweet person. So, hey, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
So it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, we're all human. We all have some days, right? What happened? Did you just look like you got a migraine there?
Well, the crime cat up dumped a drink.
Oh no! I've been doing that a lot. I've had the dropsies lately. Anything new going on
Yeah.
in your life that you want to share with us?
Well, just real quick, today is one of our other critter, McGee. It's his first birthday today.
Oh, that's amazing. I see that you've queued up a
Yes.
bunch of stuff backstage.
Yeah, so maybe later I'll show a couple
I was going to
pictures
say,
of
let's get
him.
the rest of the panel on so they can comment on
Yeah.
your puppy as well. Otherwise, it'll be just you and I talking about the puppy. So we'll talk about the first birthday for McGee. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's bring our other panelists on. We've got Logan from Bronx Tales. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you? You know what I
I'm
feel
good.
like? I feel
What?
like I came to school on a Saturday without
Why?
days.
I know. Isn't it
Doesn't
weird?
it feel like that? Like,
It's
why am I
not
the only one
right.
at school? Oh, it's
Right.
Saturday.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, I don't look, he's pretty freaking dependable. So if he's not here, there is a good reason for it. So I hope that things are well on his side of the country, I guess, from me, because I'm in a different part of the country. But it's a little off, doesn't it? It feels weird.
Yeah, it does feel weird. So today, I got a notification that just about 10-15 minutes north of me, it sounds like a man may have did something to his entire family. All we know right now is that he said, I hurt my family, and they're asking everybody to avoid the entire area. So
holy shit. So this is like just now breaking news kind of thing?
it was a couple hours ago, but there's not an update yet.
Wow, that's not good.
No,
that does not sound good at all.
It does not.
Well, if we happen to find out more about it while we're on the show, let us know. Anything good happen? Did you do a live today?
I did. I worked all day. Then I hopped on a live real quick. What I did was I took all the wounds that they were going to show at trial. I'm sure there wasn't ever going to be one, but had there been a trial, there was a list of the wounds that they were going to show. And I made a diagram thing of like the human body and marked on it in red where all of those wounds were located so we could get a visual of those. And was kind of interesting because Kaylee's the only one who didn't really have defensive wounds. And she's the only one who didn't, it sounds like she did not ever grab at the knife. And everybody else had finger wounds like they grabbed at the knife. So
that's super interesting to me because Mabbott said that Kaylee put quote unquote up one hell of a fight, and somebody else, and I don't know if it was Mabbott or somebody else, said that Kaylee fought like a tiger. So if she fought like a tiger, why does she not have defensive wounds? Why does Kaylee
literally Ethan had more defensive wounds than she did.
So how did she fight like a tiger without a bunch of defensive wounds? That's odd.
She had 3 wounds that could be considered defensive, and that's it.
Makes you wonder, does anybody ever fucking tell the truth in this story, or do we have to continually change the narrative every time we hear new pieces of information?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know what to make of that. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that information. If there's anything to be gleaned from those images and you have those images, we can put those on screen tonight as well. It's up to you.
No, I already got rid of them, but.
Okay. Well, let's bring on 1-1. 1-1.
Hi, 1-1.
Good evening.
1-1 just got home from his drive yesterday.
That's probably true.
I see you got jokes, but that might be true. That's why I have this giant coffee.
You have a giant vodka. 1-1.
How long was that? How long was that commute yesterday?
Yeah.
2 hours and 50 minutes.
You got to take that voice modulator off. You're all like way out of sorts.
Oh, I didn't take it off. I thought I took it off.
There we go. 2 hours.
There you go. 2 hours and 50 minutes. I can drive across the state in 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yes, 2 hours and 50 minutes. I actually got home. It was right around 9 o'clock, and I was dead. My son was waiting for me, like all happy when I came home, and he still wanted to jump all over me and whatever. And I was like, there's no way I'm making it to the stream. So
hey, so you're trying to say that you picked your family over your fucking obligation to the show? I'm not sure if I can handle
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said I was jumped on by my son. So.
Oh, and I got to quit dropping F-bombs. I think you probably had the little one watching us. I said I was going to curtail that a little bit until later in the evening. How about you get the monologue and we can put the young man to bed, and that way I don't have to feel so guilty about being the bad uncle.
All right. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Friday night? Juliana, Jackson, and my beautiful wife. Love you guys, always. Special monologue for you guys tonight, since it's Friday. There are cases where the truth isn't hidden. It's fractured. scattered across statements, buried in contradictions, whispered between people who were there, but never seemed to say the same thing twice. Tonight, we go back to the shadows surrounding the University of Idaho murders, but not where everyone else is looking. Not the headlines, not the easy narrative, not the man already convicted. No. Tonight, we step sideways into a different apartment, a different timeline, a different name that kept surfacing in the noise. Brent Lee Kopacka, a military veteran, PTSD, a man described as volatile, unpredictable, and dead. Just over a month after 4 students were brutally murdered, shot by police, after a standoff that, depending on who you ask, either made perfect sense or none at all. Because here's where things start to break. Inside that apartment, 3 men, no furniture, no stability, no consistency, just fragments of stories that don't line up. One roommate says he had a rifle. Another says, no, it was a pistol. One says he threatened to kill us. Another says, I didn't feel in danger at all. One claims he pointed a weapon at me, then later admits, I never actually saw it. And suddenly, you're not dealing with facts anymore. You're dealing with versions of fear, versions of truth, versions of what happened behind a locked bedroom door, where the only witness says, I don't even know if he was talking to me or something in his head. So, what do you trust? A man who says he was threatened but wasn't sure the threat was real? Or the one who says, yeah, he talked about shooting somebody, but not me? And then it gets worse. Because while bullets are flying and officers are making decisions that can't be undone, one voice over the radio claims he's going to start killing people in the parking lot. One voice, one statement, no confirmation, no audio, no second witness. And moments later, Brent Lee Kopacka is dead. So you start asking the question that never goes away in cases like this. Was he actually a threat? Or was he believed to be one? And belief in the wrong moment with the wrong assumptions can be just as lethal as fact. Because buried inside those interviews are details that don't belong, questions that come out of nowhere. Did he ever choke you? Was he a football coach? Not random, not accidental. Those are echoes of another crime scene, a different house, different victims, same case. Which leads to the question nobody wants to ask out loud. Did someone, somewhere, start connecting dots that were never meant to connect? Because if investigators believed, even for a moment, that Brent Kopacka was tied to the Idaho 4, then this wasn't just a standoff. It was something else. A pressure cooker of assumptions, fear, and fragmented testimony, coming from roommates who can't agree on what weapon he had, what he said, what they saw, or even what room he was in. And maybe the most chilling part of all, they don't even seem to know who they are. One gives a name, then another. No hesitation, no correction, just another crack in the story. So tonight, we ask the question, not what happened, but what actually makes sense. Because in a case built on details, these details don't just feel off, they feel engineered to collapse under pressure. And when the story collapses, you're left with the only thing that matters. Was Brent Kopacka part of something bigger? Or was he a man caught in the wrong narrative? This is Devil's Advocates, where we don't accept the version we're given, we test it, we tear it apart, and if something doesn't add up, we follow it until it does. And with that, live from New York, it's Friday night.
All right. Thank you very much. Wow. I don't know how you find time in the day. It's obvious. Not only did you watch my video, you had time
Yes,
to
I
make a
did.
really good narrative about it and all the key points. Like no one has time to do that shit. And you're here on the show and you commuted for 17 hours. I mean, it's amazing.
Yep.
Vampire
That's
powers.
amazing.
Vampire powers.
You
Oh, you owe me a beer.
You got Chuck Norris ability and your ability to get amount of stuff out. And by the way, just as a reminder, I couldn't help it. Remember, there is no theory of evolution. There's just a list of creatures that Chuck Norris allows to live. So that's one of the things that's one of my favorite Chuck Norris jokes. So anyways, couldn't help it. Tell us about your McGee birthday. We like dogs. Let's talk about that for the start.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I won't be real long, but he was so cute when this was one of the pictures. Where'd it go?
I had to remove the other asset because I had to move my ass out of the way for you to bring new things on stage.
You and your ass. I'm telling you.
My fat ass is always on the stage. You should be able to load stuff. Can you load stuff or not?
There we go. I thought I did load it.
So what's happening?
Add to stage. There he is. This was one of the first. He was 6 weeks old. This was one of the first pictures that we fell in love with. This is how we picked him.
Nice.
And then there he is again.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of little toy that was that the breeder had. But
a tasty one, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. That little face.
Oh, sleepy dog.
I wish he's a very handsome boy. I wish he would have kept a lot of that dark color. But as he's grown, this was after his first haircut.
Nice.
He was about 6 months old here.
Yeah.
And then there he is with his foster mom. That's Riley, our other dog.
Chilling like a villain.
Yep. And then wait a minute. That's not it. I want to make sure not to add your stuff.
Oh yeah, we don't need any nude photos on the screen.
Yep. Yeah, I know. You never know what you have on your computer.
Oh yeah, I do know what's on my computer. That's why I don't let people have access to it.
This is him. He's about 10 months old here.
Nice. Handsome young man.
And then this was today. He's a year old today.
Nice.
So that's the
he's aging well. He's got the Kurt Christopherson look going on. Like that's too old for people. People are like, who the fuck is that?
Yep.
He's an old dude.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I upload his pictures a lot to my AI person, otherwise known as Wheels, and Wheels now calls him the Wizard because of his beard. So he's always asking me how the wizard is today.
You should ask AI what actor does he most resemble, and then put the two side by side. Now that'd be hilarious.
Okay, I will do that. I will, and we'll do that later in the show. Then I'll ask Wheels. He'll tell me. All right, so let me get rid of that stuff.
All right. Well, all right. So what do we have going on? I mean, I don't know what order you guys want to do things on. It's a Friday night. We can kind of go all over the place. I know, Logan, you've got some various news stories we might want to talk about just for FYI. I've got some video I'd like to share with you guys to talk about some of that Dark-Kopacka situation. I'm not sure how much did you follow the side tangent of Dark-Kopacka much in the Idaho 4? Okay. So you're well versed in that. Yeah. Did you watch any of those early interviews with Jordan Baker and Christian Yena? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so I still think we could have some interesting conversation talking about some of that, if you don't mind. Yeah. But anyways, where do you want to start? I'm open season here.
Robin, everybody wants to know what breed your doggy is.
He is a Bernedoodle. So when you see him, that's why he resembles a little bit Murphy, because he's a doodle. So yep,
Murphy.
But yep.
Yeah.
But he just kind of fell into our lap, and my brother has his sister, and her name is Freya. So, yep. How I picked the name? Bianca wants to know how I picked the name. The breeder, she always names the litter in a like a theme. Just so she has some kind of name to call them. So she's a huge fan of the show NCIS. And so McGee is one of the, for those who know the show, McGee is one of the characters on there. And we love that show. So we just kept the name because we thought it was cool and liked the show. So that's where that came from.
Nice.
Aw, so cool. Thank you, Beach Babe, for the super chat. We appreciate
Yeah,
you
yeah.
so much.
Nice, nice.
Thank you
I'm
for
loving all
supporting.
this Hoya fun stuff because I'm ready for it.
I know I'm loaded up. I'm loaded up as
Oh.
well. Our fund is pretty full, but they have to actually give us dollar amounts right now. They're in the stage of ignoring everybody in the country when they had put in FOIAs, it seems like, or public records requests, and we're ready to fight. We got a war chest. We just gotta get them to give us.
Yeah,
they gotta follow the law. I guess they gotta start following the law and actually responding to things.
that's
Yeah.
the first thing.
Yeah.
I sent another email off today. Like, I know it's only been a week, but just checking in because I would like that price, please.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So I know. So Lee, you made a FOIA request asking about them to acknowledge, which we know exists, but the contract, right,
Mhm.
between MPD.
Yeah, right. That's
and
the one
college,
I'm mad
and you-
about for them ignoring.
And
yeah.
you also asked like for them to put who was working and
Yeah,
whatnot,
what
but-
the special patrol that was running that night. What
Right,
special
but I
patrols
still-
that were that night?
I still think we got to get a FOIA request together, just asking in general for everyone who was working that night for their body cameras.
Yes.
And I keep saying
and-
that. I keep
I know.
stressing that because people who aren't aware, who don't know, who aren't know how the law enforcement and stuff works, looking from the outside in, you guys are going to request body camera from 911 calls or from stuff like that. But there are plenty of times that officers activate their body camera when there's no radio call, there's nothing at all. I see. We got a 199.
Yeah, thank you
Very
so
nice.
much,
Very nice.
Jamie Sue. Welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
So there could be quite a few body cameras that might show some interesting things, but we don't know to ask. We don't know to ask for them because we don't know that they exist, because there's no
Right. That
job. But that doesn't
right,
mean. But my point is
Yeah.
that it doesn't mean that they don't exist, but they don't exist in the way of, oh, let me see all the jobs. Let me see all the radio, all the 911 calls from that night. So they might not
Right.
show up on there, but they will show
Right.
up on the log of body cameras.
Right, and we do need to kind of work on that.
Yeah.
You know, step one is I'm learning the process myself on public records requests. So step one
Right.
is to get them to acknowledge what records exist, and then once you know
Right.
what records exist, you go for the record. So the first step we need to do, if we haven't done it, is say list all of the body worn camera footages you
Yes,
have from that night,
exactly.
list and get it on a
Right,
list. And now
right.
what they're going to respond is they're going to say, "Oh, that's available on our website." That's going to be their generic answer. I already know they played that game, so they're going to tell you everything that's available is on the website. But you need to ask them for the full list, and then you need to go after it. If you think something doesn't exists that they haven't listed, then you got to say, "Can you specifically put in writing that you don't have Officer so and so's body worn camera who was working that
well,
night?"
that's easy,
So-
right? And that's very easy. That's very easy to do, because
Yeah.
that kind of goes in line with your other FOIA request. Because if we get a list of officers who worked that night, whether they were part of the special task force or not, oh wow, I will
Sweet.
stop talking for that.
Oh, wow, Moto. So what kind of time range would you suggest to collect the footage for then? Thank you, Moto, so much.
So
the 12th through the 13th, or you going to
You
go
need-
further back?
I would put, yeah. So I would put, so
Oops.
we have the, hey JJ, so we have the tour of duty from the special guys that were assigned to this MPD contract thing, right? It's in that, we have that contract, so it tells the times, but that doesn't tell you the tour of duty of anyone else working. So you basically would want kind of the afternoon to midnight tour, and so we call it third platoon. You'd want like a third platoon type of tour, which is basically like basically like a 3 p.m. to 12 at night, and then you would want a first platoon list of who was working, which is basically like a 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. And you'd want we would want some kind of list or roster and what their assignment was of every officer that was working that night. And then what you do is you compare that to the list of body cameras, and you can say, oh, well, when they say, oh, well, we put it on the website or whatever, and we're like, well, that's funny because you have these two officers that worked 8 hours. You mean to tell me they worked 8 hours and they didn't record one body camera? So that's how you nail them to it.
Yeah, we do need to get a little bit. I need to probably the key word, get a little bit more aggressive. And I want to point out, by the way, because somebody asked me. By the way, let's talk to JJ for a second. JJ, how you doing?
Hi, JJ.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Sorry I'm late. I had a little camera mishap.
Oh,
I got my new webcam.
Yeah.
And I set it up earlier today, and it was great. And then it's the software for it. I had totally on its own. It just started updating the camera.
Of course, right?
And I'm like, you're about to start, and it's updating the camera. Basically, hijacked my computer, and then when it finally updated, it wouldn't give it a high def. It was earlier. It was great. It was, high def and everything. And then something glitched with it, and I was trying to fix it. And then when I was like, I'll do it later. And I hooked my old camera up, and I think those software type deals hijack your computer, because now my other webcam is not in really high def either. So something glitched in my laptop, and I was trying to fix it, and it was not going well. But I'm here, so hi.
You're here now. Yeah,
I'm glad you made it, because it's been feeling a little off without Dago tonight. With that, I was gonna say, going back to what we were talking about a minute ago about letters, and it's pissing me off. My record keeping needs to get better. My organizational skills are horrible. If you saw my office, you'd realize how bad they are. And as a YouTuber, I'm realizing I need to have one drive with all the folders labeled, and everything goes in a specific place. A place for everything and everything in its place, because I had written a letter to the Department of Justice basically suggesting that I believe Brian Kohberger's constitutional rights were violated, his 14th Amendment rights and such were violated in the Idaho case, and asking them to look into it. And somebody had just asked me recently what the status of it was. And I did get a response back. I was going to show it on screen for you, actually, from the Department of Justice. What I wanted to do is I wanted to pull up my original letter to show you what I actually said to them. And fucking for the life of me, I can't find the actual letter that I sent to them. But this is the response in general. I'll show on the screen real quick. This is from the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice. Lee Farrell, you contacted the Department of Justice on January 7th, and here's your receipt number. You might want to contact the FBI about this. They point out to the things that the Department of Justice specifically gets into, civil rights violations. That's what I told them, what I thought was happening, a civil rights violation. But there's kind of it's a form letter. Hey, we just kind of deal with civil rights violations, this and that. If it's something else, contact the FBI. It's just a form letter. We can't help you recover damages. And here's the big one. We will review your letter to decide whether it's necessary to contact you for additional information. We do not have the resources to follow up on every reply to every letter. If your concern is not within the section's area of work, which it is, you may wish to consult your Civil Rights Division webpage to determine whether or not another section or division. So it was basically just a, thanks, we got your letter. Here's your report number. If we want to hear from you, we'll reach out to you. Otherwise, thanks a lot. So it's your form letter. Don't contact us. We'll contact you. That's kind of how it works with big government agencies. Same thing that happened when I called, by the way, the FBI in relation to Nikki Stein's and the whole judge situation and the Ben Field situation. And I wanted to give them information about that. And they told me, who are you? Oh, you're a YouTuber? Yeah, we'll call you if we're interested. Thank you. Have a nice day. So they weren't interested in hearing anything I had to say, even though I reminded them, this is about a sheriff shooting an elected federal judge, not a federal judge, an elected judge. So like this falls into your purview. FBI is interested in elected officials that get shot and killed in a courtroom. Oh, that's what happened? Yeah, we'll call you if we're interested. Okay. So, anyways, that's what it is.
We'll follow you.
Thank
Thank
you, Reality with Krista Marie, for joining us. We appreciate
Yes,
you so
yes.
much. We got another tuttle.
Reminds me, I need to give out a gift membership. I told her I'd give out some tonight so that people have a chance if they want to come hang out with the after show. So I'll throw one out right now, roll of the dice kind of thing for anybody and see what happens. It's been a while since I've done it, so hopefully it fires off correctly. Looks like somebody rolled out. Sausage Biscuits received the free membership today. So very
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Oh, nice.
No, I'll throw a few. I'll throw a few more tonight's on. Whoop, whoop. So, all right. Well, what else? Anything on your mind today? We didn't do a monologue with you or a intro period with you, JJ. Did you have anything other than your webcam issues that you wanted to discuss today, or anything in the news that caught your eye? Or
No, well, lots of stuff in the news that catches my eye, but I get my news typically online, usually.
How about
So,
you're relatively the same age as me? How about Chuck Norris passing away today?
yeah, man. Yeah, I grew up on
Yep.
Chuck Norris. All right, here's some Chuck Norris trivia.
Yeah.
What was a famous commercial he did back in the day? It was probably early to mid 80s for an article of clothing. Let's see if anybody can remember.
Was it jeans?
Yes.
Was it
Was it
Wrangler?
Wrangler?
No.
No.
Calvin Klein.
No, I'll have to think. Let me see if I can remember.
Levi.
It'll come to me. It'll probably come.
I
to
said
me
we all said Wrangler. A lot of us said Wrangler, but so what was the commercial? Like, I take it it's not.
It
the
was
brand that
him
matters.
with these jeans on, doing like taekwondo kicks and shit.
Okay. Okay.
And I of course ran out and had to get a pair. So
Right. I mean, if
it
those
works
jeans are
on
that
me.
stretchy, I'm going. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll think if I remember it at some point during the stream. I'll see if I can remember
Jinko
the name.
jeans.
I'm sure
reminds
somebody can
That's too funny.
find
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Sorry.
I'm allowed to go inappropriate, right? It's Friday night. Hold on. Let me put the fucking.
Kicking jeans.
No,
chicken
it
jeans?
was.
chicken jeans.
I'll think of it. If someone could probably Google it or search it, because
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just-
says
And it says action
jeans, kicking jeans. Yeah,
kicking jeans. Yeah.
I don't think, unless
Well,
that's
maybe he probably did I'm sure he did
Jordache?
multiple.
Jordache.
wasn't Jordache. It might have been Action Jeans, but that's not what I recall. I'll have to, if there was another one, because at some point he might have done more than that, but maybe it was Action Jeans, but it hooked me. So because I watched all the Chuck Norris
Yeah,
movies
there's
and the
all
Bruce
kind-
Lee
I see it.
movies and
Yeah,
all that
there's all kinds
stuff.
of pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like action jeans.
Action. That's how he could kick so high with
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
with
It's,
Walker
yeah, it's
Texas
fr-
Ranger.
Yeah, from 1981.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
otherwise no big excitement today. Just getting stuff done. It was actually a beautiful day here. I've been a little under the weather, so I would have taken my motorcycle out today. The bikes were out. It was like 70 degrees here. Bluebird, sunny day. And so I was feeling crappy this morning, so I just stayed in, got some stuff done at home, and then went to the gym. But I was salivating because I haven't had my bike out, all winter. It's been, wrapped up in the garage. But it was beautiful day here today. It still is.
I was trying to look something up. I was hoping you wouldn't just die dead air like that while I'm typing and trying to look something up real quick. So,
Oh, I can go on if you want.
yeah, do it for a minute. Do it for a
Yeah.
minute. Let me.
Do it.
For any motorcycle riders out there, my motorcycle is only a couple of years old, and it's got pretty low miles on it. And I found out in September that there was a recall issued for a part on my bike, and it's the kind that it has to be replaced for free. So I reached out to the dealership because riding season's coming, so I wanted to try to plan to get everything done. And this is like a serious thing that could be a major safety issue. The throttle, again, for you motorcycle heads out there and gear heads, most new motorcycles don't have a throttle cable. It's like a ride-by-wire. It's all electronic. And there's a problem with this particular throttle on this motorcycle, that you could be riding 75 miles an hour on the highway and the throttle just cuts out. And so that's what the recall is for. If moisture gets into it, it can cut out. And it's happened to me. And then I found out about the recall. So I called the dealership to schedule service, which is a pain in the ass because it's 100 miles away. Yeah, that must be it.
There he is.
If it doesn't ring a bell, but
That's amazing.
It's possible he could have done other jeans, but I went out and bought them. But anyway, so the dealership is telling me, oh, they don't have the part. I'm like, this is a major safety issue. Since September, it's been acknowledged, and they don't have the part for it. I'm like, that's insane. So not great.
Well, so is my mic on?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to tell the story because I told you about 15-year-old boy fucking trapped in an old man's body, right? So when we talked to jeans, and I had to look it up, and I was right. Thank God AI is so much better than old Google searches. So I remembered, and it was funny. I remembered this commercial that got banned. It aired during the Super Bowl, and I tell people about it all the time, and they're like, "I think you're just making that up." I'm like, "No, it aired on the Super Bowl, and then it got banned." I found out the story because ChatGPT knows all about it. They're like, it didn't actually get banned, but you're absolutely right. It was 1990. That's fucking how old I was. I was watching the Super Bowl back in 1990. It was a Lee Jeans commercial in the 1990s. And the funny thing was, it was a group of guys going golfing. And one of the guys didn't show up for golfing. And the guys are like, where the hell's Jack or whatever? And they're like, oh, he decided to stay home with the wife. They're like, what a fucking loser, staying home with the wife. And then they show him and his smoking hot wife just ripping each other's clothes off all over the house, jeans falling on the floor, and they're in bed together kind of thing. And the guys are like, what a loser. What kind of guy stays home with his wife instead of golfing with his buddies? And I loved that commercial. And it's the 1990s Lee Jeans commercial. I tried like hell to pull it up on YouTube and I can't see it. It says it wasn't actually banned, but I remembered the shit out of that video. So there's my jeans commercial. When you said jeans, that's where I went, Lee Jeans and the golfing buddies commercial. So, because that's what I love.
Well, that it would be a pretty good tactic to tell the public that an ad got banned, because it's the Streisand effect.
Right.
Everybody would want to see that ad, and it would get 3 times the exposure.
Apparently, according to ChatGPT, Lee Jeans went through a period where they did sex appeal and relationship tension through their jeans commercials in the 90s, and that was part of their whole their ad campaign shtick. So,
yeah, and they've done that. That's happened with a few products where they almost know that an ad is going to get banned or pulled, but they're trying to build hype.
Yeah.
It's advertising 101. If like the whole Sydney Sweeney thing, I don't buy that at all. I don't believe anybody was really that appalled. They found some people online and they made it sound like it was this massive backlash. No, and that sold freaking 1,000 times more jeans. It's come on, man. It's a game. It's all a game.
Somebody pointed out
Sydney Sweeney's. She sells her some soap that's of her bathwater or some crazy.
The Marlboro TV commercial. Oh God. Anyways, all right.
Do you guys remember when Marlboro? I can't remember if it was the 90s or
Marlboro Man.
It was probably early 90s where Marlboro tried the new ad campaign where it was sports, Marlboro adventure gear, and Marlboro. It was they were trying. Yeah, you remember that?
Yep.
Well,
they had all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they pushed that, and you'd get the little things you could win in the adventure gear. Well, when I was in real estate back in the 90s, early 90s, one of my customers. I worked right outside New York City, and one of my customers was the guy who created that ad campaign for Marlboro. He worked for one of the giant advertising agencies, and he said when they pitched that, everybody, all the executives at Marlboro were like, "Where's the cowboy? Where's the cat?" Like they would not let them get rid of the Marlboro man.
Yeah,
because every so often they try to appeal to a different clientele, so they shift their ad campaigns, and so that was the whole idea behind that whole Marlboro adventure and sports and all that.
Nobody's going to be able to appreciate this, but Marlboro Man almost caused a divorce for my parents, because my mother literally took a Marlboro Man picture out of a magazine and had it folded up and hidden in her like underwear drawer of her thing for the longest time, because he was like the sexiest, like the epitome of the guy that she wants to be with. And he was so effing pissed when he found that she still had the picture of the Marlboro Man in her undie drawer. So that's hilarious shit. Like it takes me back to the day, my childhood. Oh, it's so lovely.
Yeah, I mean, the Marlboro Man was iconic, right? And they were not having it, man. When this advertising agency was trying to move away from the Marlboro Man to appeal to different people, they're like, you still got to use the Marlboro Man. They would not get rid of the Marlboro Man.
He was money.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just one guy. Was the Marlboro Man like one guy that they used the whole time, or was it a collection of guys that were kind of fit the whole mold?
It was probably a collection, but I mean, that archetype was this iconic thing, and I just thought that was funny, thinking about that, how the ad agencies, the things that they do. I mean, it's all psychology. The advertising agency is the second, or it always was, I don't know if it still is, the second largest funder of psychological research behind the military. So
Sausage Biscuit says there was a collection of models after the original died of lung cancer. And they rotated the guys through.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or if that's just like one of those myths that are funny, but it's funny. No, my parents.
Don Caps won a membership. Thank you. Thanks. Welcome to the family.
Yeah. Don Caps, welcome to getting the new membership that I rolled out there. So I'm glad that you picked that up. But yeah, that was a thing. And by the way, so if you care, probably nobody gives a shit, but if you care, I'll tell you the story I don't want to tell on air about my mom and the Marlboro Man in the After Dark show or the after show for members only. So remind me if you're in there to tell the story about my mom and the Marlboro Man in the not for public consumption part of the show. So anyways, there's that. Yeah. So what else? I just got awkwardly silent in here. Where'd Logan go? She just disappeared.
I wanted to say that your video today was excellent, and
yes,
I have a comment about the part where I guess it was Heidi. She was getting Christian to go down the stairs and out. Out of the building.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask one a question about that. Shouldn't she have been like covering and protecting the dude? She's there. Just go head on out and just stay close to the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems to me like she should have because he's like miles ahead of her, and it seems like she should have been protecting him and covering him a little bit more if they were expecting Kopacka to be potentially shooting, which.
I mean, there was weird things with that, right? They didn't evacuate the building when maybe they should have evacuated the building. And I don't know. I mean, I would say this. I mean, I don't want to answer for one because he's the police officer. But I mean, one of the things that I'll say before he takes over, because I'll just pitch this to him, is people have a misconception that the police are required to do certain things. They're not. They're not required to put their life in danger for you or other things like that. I mean, we expect them to, but there's certain things they're not required to do. So we have a lot of like ideas of what police should have done that maybe they're not required to do. So I don't know. What do you think? How would you word that about the officer's duty or etiquette of escorting people out of the building?
They did. I mean, because you have, if you have someone that's, I guess, of strong emotional state, many different words can be used to, you don't, whether it's some kind of drug induced or medical induced, whatever the issue is, you don't necessarily have to evacuate the whole building. However, when you have this situation with Kopacka would, if for me, would be considered a hostage situation. So basically, it was a barricaded. We would call it a barricaded EDP, which is emotionally disturbed person, but it was a hostage situation, and they had to go in and get one of the roommates out. Right, he was in the bedroom, like on the side. So
it was Christian.
They have. It's not like, oh, the guy's just making noise, and a neighbor calls 911 and says something's going on. We have an identified, confirmed witness on scene saying, oh, Brent has a rifle, or he has a pistol. One guy says he has a pistol, one guy says he has a rifle. Either way, there's high potential of violence, right? Firearm violence. So this is the same. I actually give this when I train new officers. I give this scenario. Actually, I'll tell you guys real quick. So what you're just saying there, like, oh, some people have a misconception of what police are allowed to do or not allowed to do. So we have to, we're supposed to, or you get sued, and you will get sued. You have to go by the law. So let's say there's a radio call, 911. There's a guy there's a four-story building, and at a third-story window, this guy is throwing what appears to be bricks or big rocks, whatever, outside the window, and he's, obviously someone walking by on the ground, right? A passerby could possibly be killed if they get hit with that rock or the brick. So how do you win this situation? How do you, what would you do to, if you want to say, win, survive? How do you get by this situation? What do you guys think? You guys on the panel have any idea?
No. I mean, I'm okay. I got thoughts, but I don't want to take over.
Right. Okay. So what I'm basically challenging the newer officers, I'm getting at them. Do you need a warrant to go into this guy's, or girl, but I'll just say guy. Do you need a warrant to break down the door? What do you think?
I have the answer, because I was looking up the constitutional rights about what they can do in a person's house. By the way, before you continue your answer, we're distracted because Logan fucking caught a fly like fucking Chuck Norris, and everybody's talking. What did you catch?
First of all, thank you, Reality with Kristen Marie, for the $5 donation for my mothballs. I had my windows open. I saw a moth come in here, so I was trying to throw something at it, but then it flew right in my face and I caught it.
She's like fucking Chuck Norris with the they're all like, oh my god, did she just fucking catch that thing?
She was Mr. Miyagi. She had the chopsticks out and she was catching the one's trying to have a serious discussion over there, and Logan's got insects buzzing around her head.
We have to go back to the fly. Finish your. I got the answer on the constitutional shit, but finish your thought, then we'll go back to the fly. Moth, whatever.
All right. So without going 50 minutes in depth into this conversation, so I'm basically getting at. So this is a big issue that comes up for new cops or newer cops. They're not sure. Whether do they need a warrant? Do they not need a warrant? The answer to this scenario and to win, so you can collect go and get your $200, right? you do not need a warrant to break down someone's door if there is an exigent circumstance. So if someone is throwing bricks and stones or whatever the hell, glass, where you can make up anything, is that something that can cause serious physical injury or possible death, grave danger to someone below? Absolutely. You do not need a warrant. I can break down that door, and twice on Sunday, as Lee likes to say.
And
however,
and what I was
however, just real quick, just saying, and then I'll let you guys go. In my scenario, you would not break down the door. Why? Because there's a way to survive and win this scenario without having to break down the door immediately. All you have to do is block the street. If I block the street, so someone is causing grave danger to people down below. Well, if no one is walking down the street, then he's not posing a grave danger. Hitting a car, that's property damage. Sorry to say, but we don't care really about property at the moment that life could be at risk.
Right.
You've closed down the street. And it would be, if it may be later on that the door has to be taken down, but it's not something that you need to rush into. So back to Kopacka, in that situation, someone had, you have a confirmed witness or a victim, civilian, saying that someone has a firearm. You absolutely would evacuate that entire area. Absolutely.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you for the gift. And I wow, what dedication you have. You wanted to donate so badly and trying to use an app that you can't do it, that you finally said, fuck it, I'll find another way to donate. That's dedication to the show. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much. Go ahead. I was gonna riff on that a little bit, but I don't want to turn this into a class for an hour. I was going to go into the other issue, which is like the issues of taking over, for example, apartment 305 across the hall, and whether or not they can legally. Because people were asking the question, and again, I don't want to do this because I don't want to spend too much time into a class constitutional thing. But the question about whether or not they had to or should have evacuated people, whether people have the right to get the choice, may we use your apartment, which is actually what they asked the guy in 305. May we use your apartment? Did he have the right to say no? Could they have said, get the fuck out? It's more important that we stage across the hall from you or not? What were the constitutional rights? I know some of the answers to those, but I think maybe it's a little meaty for a Friday. So maybe we'll avoid that. I'd rather go back to the fucking fly and the moth. And I'll tell you why. Because remember, do you remember when JJ started it with the, oh God, he made a comment. It reminded me of the movie quote. Was that They Call Me Bruce? Where the guy like pulls out a samurai sword because there's a fly. He goes, see that fly? And he like pulls out a sword. He's like, what? He goes all over the place. And he puts it away like he's all like badass about it. And they're like, yeah, but the fly is still alive. And he's like, yes, but that fly will never make love again.
I remember that.
I was like, that's awesome. You didn't hit the fly, but he circumcised all of that just because of the moth comment. That's the way my brain works. I'm a 15-year-old boy. That's all there is to it.
Logan, could you continue doing that? It was amusing to watch you.
It was like we were totally distracted. Like I'm trying to listen to one's class, and she's all like.
It was not on purpose, but I could not sit here and let this moth try and.
Oh no, they're annoying.
Yeah, I hate moths too.
Well, since we're on the subject of insects and it's Friday night,
gosh.
I repotted my plants a while back.
Okay, all right.
And
what kind of plants were they?
No.
It's legal is it legal in Denver? It is legal in Denver anyways.
Although it's Colorado, you never know.
Your volume dropped. Your volume dropped.
Oh shit.
So anyway, I got this like organic.
Oops. Where'd he go?
What happened?
Your volume is gone.
So I repotted my plants, and the soil was infested with gnats, like gnat eggs, because at like Home Depot or whatever, that stuff's all outside. So there were like a colony of gnats had laid their eggs or whatever in the soil. So I repotted my plants, and all of a sudden my apartment was within like a week was swarming with gnats. So I'd be on stream and gnats would be flying all around my light. And I had to do everything in my power to not be swatting the gnats while I'm sitting here on camera. So I went through it, man, on a mass scale. It took me like a month to get rid of all those fucks.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yuri Nuff wants to know if we can FOIA the body cam for Manny the Moth's death.
Manny the Moth. FOIA Manny the Moth. Yeah, like so how exactly did this happen, sir? Well, I wanted to put up on screen some of the discussion points real quick because you brought up the whole Christian Yenna thing, Robin, about the escorting thing. And there's a clip that you just made me. I mean, it's not exactly that. It's not about the escorting issue, but I wanted to get your guys' thought about Christian Yenna's. And specifically, I'm glad that we have one here because I'd like to get one to comment on what appears to be a complete lack of concern on the officer's part that Christian gave her a false name earlier and then changes his name and she just doesn't even bat an eye on it. And I just don't know if it's just because we didn't see it. I'm going to skip forward. I got these little placeholders. So we're looking for one that says, what's my name? This is all from my, oh yeah, there's some stuff I want to talk about here with you guys. Let me get to the, what's my name? What's my name? Where's my what's my name? I think it's near the end. Bedroom confusion.
That's a cool decorative bowl.
Oh yeah? Was it? Oh, here it is. This is the what's my name part, I think. All right, come on. There's what's my name. All right. So again, for those who are not familiar with this, I want to set it up a little bit. Dark-Kopacka, the reason why we're talking about it is there are many people, thousands of tips were coming in on the Idaho 4 murders. Dark-Kopacka's name was being mentioned. Dark-Kopacka, 1 month and a day or so after the murders of the Idaho 4, was shot and killed in a coffeehouse apartments in a standoff. He had 2 roommates, Jordan Baker and Christian or Gabrielle, not sure which, Yenna. And that's the question. What's Christian or Gabrielle's name? Watch how he presents himself to the officer. Watch how he responds. He tells her his name's Gabrielle. When she calls him Gabrielle, he turns his head and responds to it. So he recognizes that as his name. And then later on, somebody calls him Christian. And then when she asks for his name, he says Christian. She never bats an eye on why he's been going by Gabrielle for the last hour. And now all of a sudden changing his name. So let's just watch that real quick. Hopefully you have audio on this and play this. Tell me if you don't have audio when this kicks on.
Go to 311. You guys go to 311. Hey, guy. What's your name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, I want you to stay close to the building. So, Gabrielle, we're going to take a left. 0986. Okay, Gabrielle.
Do you have a ride somewhere, or you got?
Well, so we're encouraging him not to go to his car because that's within line of sight of.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering.
So if you guys could transport him and the dog, that would be amazing. Even if you guys hang out in the Pullman Police Department lobby, that would be helpful.
Yeah, you need a ride, Christian?
What's your name?
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
CHRISTIN.
STIN. IAN. I apologize.
So, riddle me this. Why does he say his name's
awkward.
Gabrielle? Why does she call him Gabrielle and he turns around? Why does she start to call him Gabrielle outside the car? And then the guy in the car says, okay, do you want to ride, Christian? And then later on, even when she asks his name, holy shit, they just fucking raining money on Logan. What do I have to do to get Logan's kind of cash? Anyways, hold on a second.
Oh my gosh, Mikey, thank you. You did not have to do that. He said, we all appreciate your daily grind, fire content, and what you bring to the true crime community. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the creators on the show. Anyways, what I was going to say is why the things that I have a problem with is he not only says his name is Gabrielle, there's no mistake because she calls him Gabrielle and his head turns around when she calls him Gabrielle. So he recognizes the name. It's not his middle name.
No.
Later on, when she asks his name and she's writing it down on the paper, if you watched, he even makes a little head twist like Christian, like he almost like, what name am I going to go with? So what the fuck is the guy's name, and what do you guys think about the Wyatt? I mean, how do you have a nickname of Gabrielle with the name Christian?
Well, and for police reports, it matters. What is this guy's name? What if they need to find him later?
Yeah.
And he's giving them a false name.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely. It's
and why is the officer not even remotely asking for clarification? There's no why did you tell me Gabrielle?
She doesn't
earlier?
even question it. She doesn't question it at all. Which is suspicious.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of, the only plain devil's advocate, the only thing I can think about is somebody told her off camera why the name was used, and so she didn't need to clarify it when she turned her camera on. So there's that possibility. But I mean, it's like, how do you not question, why did you tell me your name was Gabrielle if you're now telling me the name is Christian? Like, there's no hesitation on her part whatsoever that he's changed his name.
So apparently there's another interview, and Gabrielle is Christian's Hebrew name.
Right. So I have seen clips of the other interview in the hotel room. So I didn't watch it in entirety. So they explained it. Somebody else had told me the same thing, that he uses that as his religious name, which brings up another issue, which is that.
However,
Jordan,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And but the question there is always like, how well would this officer know this? How well does she know this guy? So I get it. And that's probably, that may be accurate, that Gabrielle is his Hebrew name or other name, but how the hell would she know that? She,
Thank you for that. Hey, look, Sausage Biscuits. Thank you so much for
Sausage Biscuits
for supporting the show.
Oh,
hello. You put them on.
We're toggling back and forth.
Thank you so much, Sausage Biscuits. Appreciate that very much, and thank you for everybody who supports the channels. And what's going on, Dago? What's going on with you?
What's up?
You okay? Then?
I'm sorry.
I said thank you, Stephen.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, and look,
yay.
And the user's point with that, to me, when you use the word God, it's like we're idiots. Like, God, you morons. He said later on in an interview that his Christian name is a Hebrew name. Yes, fine. Again, the point that we're missing is the officer who only in the course of about 30 minutes, I think it was, never bats an eye. And I'm sure they didn't have a discussion about his religious upbringing and about his religious name. That didn't happen until a hotel meeting hours later. So why did the officer not even flinch when he gave her a different name?
It would be awkward. And a normal reaction there would have been like, wait, that's you.
Right. I've been calling you Gabrielle for the last 20 minutes. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that Hebrew name is not on his driver's license, again, it matters for official purposes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for raining the money on us. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
You guys are so amazing.
Very, very, very appreciate it. I got more clips to share, but before, because I want to get some more conversation going on about it. Dago, do you have anything you want to talk about before we get into clips, or you just want us to roll with it and you'll chime in when it's ready?
Do your thing.
Okay, we'll do our thing. Hope you're doing all right, brother. All right, let me pull this up real quick.
I'm here. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. hang tight. Hang tight. What I want to do is, so there's some talk about the mental issue. We don't need to get into that too much. Oh yeah, here we go. I want to get into what exactly did Manny the little moth, the moment of silence. Thank you for the $5 super. Let's have a moment of silence for the moth. Fucking, I thought Logan liked living creatures, but she fucking crushed that bug like it was out of. Oh, did you cup him, Logan, and take him outside, or did you just kill his ass?
I did. I cupped him and I took him outside.
Oh, you did. You know what? I think you're right, because I saw the camera go off. You might have actually done that. Damn you.
I did.
Damn you. All right. Fair enough. Anyways, so what did Brent Kopacka have? The official report says Brent Kopacka had a pistol. He was shooting with a pistol that night. There was a big discussion. Wade Weingartner from the Pullman Police Department, he was one of the first people to reach Jordan in the parking lot, and Jordan said, my roommate has a rifle. He threatened to kill us with a rifle. He even showed Weingartner how big the rifle was. Later on, when someone said, no, it's a pistol, Wade says, no, it was a rifle. He even showed me how big the rifle was. So let's break through the discussion about what weapon was being used that night. And again, only one weapon was reported, a pistol. There was no mention of a rifle when they shot and killed Kopacka. So let's listen carefully to some of these eyewitness testimonies from the roommates.
When he said that, I had to get people involved because I didn't know if he was actually going to harm one of us.
Okay.
He does have a rifle on hand. He does have knives on hand. That I do know.
Do you know how much ammunition he has?
That I don't know.
Okay. Do you know how many firearms he has?
Like firearms, I don't know. Besides the rifle, I know he has. That's the only firearm that I know he has.
Okay.
He does have knives that I do know. Yes.
So the rifle
and some knives, and that's about it. But
what type of weapon did you see Brent have?
He had a pistol. That's all I saw. I saw him this morning when I went out to get breakfast.
Okay.
And he had it on the counter.
So, your other roommate said that this roommate is making threats to kill you guys and he's got a rifle. So,
is there A, B, and C, or is there
I know it's not a rifle. It's a pistol, and he's been acting like this for quite a while.
So, what is it? Christian, look, the stories between these guys are killing me. Christian, the one that was speaking there at the last, he said it was a pistol. He said, I know it's not a rifle. It's a pistol. Christian also said when she pressed him, did he threaten to kill you? No, he didn't threaten to kill me. Were you afraid for your life? No, I wasn't afraid for my life. But Jordan is like, he threatened to kill us both with the rifle that fucking, by the way, if I'm hoping to find the clip, Jordan never saw the rifle. Jordan tells you he threatened to kill him with the rifle, and Jordan will then tell you he never saw the rifle. Never saw the rifle that night. So that's another clip I'll pull up for you guys. What do you guys think about that so far?
A lot of inconsistencies and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, did he have a rifle? Did he have a pistol? What is it? What's
exactly?
And was the official police report just a pistol? Well,
both.
I thought both, but the police report said it was only a pistol. And here's the thing. They said it was only a pistol in the police reports, but there was a moment, we all heard it for those who, have been with us a lot on the after members only live stuff at that. You can hear the gunshots. They're very, very loud. And then the sound of the caliber changes. And one of the officers says, oh, good. He's switched to a smaller caliber. And a shot or two happens, and then you hear a loud bang, and he goes, fuck, because he went back to the bigger gun. There was more than one gun, and I believe, because you could hear the calibers change. And yet the official story is he only had a pistol. So if that's the case, why are we covering up a rifle versus pistol thing? I don't get it.
Because it's all horseshit, maybe?
Right, maybe. Yeah.
Because it's not out of the question that it was a training exercise.
And, did you just real quick, you guys saw, I know Dago did, I'm sure all of you pretty much did. You saw the video, right, with the bodies being taken out?
Oh, the body cam,
1122. Yeah. Didn't they at one point, weren't the officers talking about doing some kind of SWAT exercise or something?
Yep.
I thought, I misunderstood that then. My understanding was they had heard a radio call about a domestic that was right up the road. And what I thought I heard was that they had initially called SWAT for that, and then they called them off. So my
No, you might be right.
No, I heard the SWAT thing too. They said, I guess we won't be doing our SWAT exercise now.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know then. Maybe it was a little bit of both, or maybe it just was a SWAT training thing. I don't know.
Not to derail, and not
different times though. Sorry.
Right.
Well, and not to derail. Not to derail this a ton, but I'm sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for the gift as well. And we should get back to that blackout. Somebody should look that rifle up or the blackout. But yeah, by the way, about the exercise, the SWAT exercise, literally guys at the Kopacka shooting are heard saying, well, what are you doing next Thursday? Another exercise? They literally said another exercise. It was a routine thing for them on that particular day of the week to do SWAT exercises, which led people to ask, is this all just a SWAT exercise or is it even real? Because they were literally talking and joking about what are you going to do next, and why can't they do these things like the exercises in the summer instead of in the middle of the winter like this? Like they're all kind of bitching about the exercise being done. But
All I could say is real quick without going long into it, because we've spoken about it multiple times. So is JJ and others on the panel. The you know whether you're part of some kind of emergency service or whatever, I'm sure Dago had a lot of this training too, EMS and all of them as well. The crisis management, if you want to say techniques or strategies, were non-existent here. So that is, I don't want to say, I like to say, I like to have full, like 100% proof before I say, like, it seems like, this is like fake, or, I don't have enough, but whatever it is that happened, if Kopacka, if he really was killed and the whole thing did happen, there was zero crisis management, and you don't need, even just the I'm not a hostage negotiator. Of course, with NYPD, we do have a whole unit that does that, but even the like basic crisis management techniques that I have learned, they used zero. They used nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and a lot of us were very frustrated at the lack of talking down Kopacka. All they did is seem to agitate him that night.
Well,
in fact, I have PTSD with the damn phone line.
I know.
Well, the thing is, a lot of times people don't think about the other aspects of things outside of a true crime case. Like, exercises are a real thing.
Yeah.
They have to train personnel. They have to train military people. They have to train different types of institutions, universities. These types of things happen, right? So what I had said when we were talking about those videos, when we were watching them a while back, is that is it a possibility that was the case and the media took advantage of it, or whoever is directing the media, to distract from the Idaho 4 case?
Yeah.
I threw something backstage for you.
Okay. Is now a good time to put it on?
Whenever you want.
All right. Let me let's see.
We're talking about the blackout stuff.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's
blackout 300 AC blackout ammunition. They're all considered blackout guns.
And that's considered a pistol?
Yeah.
And not a rifle?
Well, these are rifles.
Yeah, it has to do with the barrel length.
Yeah.
And he just said yes.
What's going on with my
audio? There's an echo going on there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Echo still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's different variations of these, so on and so forth.
And it hijacks your computer.
So the same base can be modified to be a pistol or a rifle, apparently, or can be modified to be a rifle, something like that. Okay.
You see that there,
but I don't think that's the answer. Like I don't either. That's one of those mental gymnastics to try to make the story fit. So like maybe it could have been a pistol and a rifle. But
well, here's my. You want me to leave this up here?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Take it down or leave it up.
Did you have more to? You need to show reference?
No, I just wanted you to see what that was all about. A lot of people don't know what the hell blackout guns are, blackout ammo, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you. This is a military trained, a special forces military trained person. Okay, and he spent wartime. Okay, overseas. There's no doubt in my mind that this man has weapons in his. Okay, multiple. And it would be no doubt, I've never doubted that he could have a rifle, shotgun, handgun, even if he had a semi-automatic, whatever it would be. I have never had doubts that he would have that kind of stuff. So, and a lot of these guys, once they've been over there and they come back, they don't like to let go of these types of things. It's part of their life at that point. It's part of their protection. You know what I mean? So,
right.
The odds that he, switched out, it's obvious. You can hear it. I was on that live with you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kat. God bless. Hon.
Nice. Thank you. Thank
Very
you for
nice.
supporting
Very
the shows.
nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy Friday night to you. I forgot it was Friday. F it Friday.
Yeah, it's fucking Friday. Yeah.
So yeah, that's like the night we were listening to that. You can hear the caliber change. Like very clearly.
It's clear as day. Yeah, and the only way to unexplain it is
if you know guns,
different direction. Like I mean, you know, if the muzzle was pointed in a different direction, maybe that could change the sound. But it sounded like a whole different caliber change. But yeah,
most definitely did. So that's my addition to that. Sorry.
All right, I wanted to play a couple more clips if you don't mind. This is I think the question is. Did Kopacka? I feel like when I watch this clip, Heidi Lambley, I think is her name, is trying to really press Jordan to say that his life was in danger and he was threatened to be killed. This is like something, and he keeps backpedaling, and you'll see him backpedal, I think, in this thing where immediately after saying that Brent Kopacka pointed a rifle at him, he says he never saw the rifle. How can that both be the case? So let's listen to this.
Considered calling the police when he started making threats in the open, and I didn't know if he was talking to me or a ghost or a hallucination, or I don't know where it was coming from, but he was making threats like here and there, just 10 minutes straight, at least 10 minutes straight of threats, and I'm like,
did you think when he said he was gonna start shooting somebody that person could potentially be you or one of your roommates?
I did not know.
You don't know, or you do not believe so?
I don't believe so.
Don't believe so. Okay. Were you concerned about your safety at all?
No.
Okay.
Now that was this next part's the one where he didn't see the rifle. But notice he Christian Yenna does not feel like his life was in danger. He never thought he was threatened. Jordan says he was threatening to kill us both. And he's like, did you feel like your life was in danger? And look, even Jordan said, if you listen to it, he said, I'm not sure he was talking to me or if he was talking to phantom people that weren't there that he saw in his head. That was the problem the officer kept having. Did he threaten you? Yeah, he threatened me. Well, you know what? On second thought, I'm not sure if he was actually talking to me or if he was just talking to voices in his head. So she kept trying to narrow him down. Did he threaten you? I'm not sure it was me, he said. Now watch this. Pointing the rifle at him, not sure he saw the rifle. Okay, so listen carefully.
where is this coming from? He's like,
so when he was saying threats, what threats was he saying?
Physical threats, actually shooting. Actually taking his rifle and aiming it at me and my roommate and shooting us.
So did he actually take his rifle and aim it at you?
I was locked in my room, so I didn't
know
he had it on it.
Okay.
He said, I have my rifle here, and if you don't come out in 5 minutes, I'm going to blast your door open.
So yeah, let's stop there for a second. He
lied right there.
Yeah, he's like, when he's pointing the rifle at me and my roommate. So she says, oh, so did he actually point the rifle? Well, I had my door shut, so I didn't see that, he says. Right after saying he pointed the rifle at him. And immediately after, it's bullshit. And so he's like, well, he didn't actually do that. Right?
He's embellishing the story, as she's asking.
Let's continue a little bit here. And by the way, welcome to the new member. Somebody got a new member there? Yeah. Right,
yes, we got a new member. Welcome to the family, Wisteria.
Thank you.
I love
Wisteria when you're near.
Also,
I'm going Mysteria from Def Leppard.
You just completely threw.
I just went Mysteria from Def Leppard. Remember that shit? Do you remember that shit? Okay.
I do, of course. I want to thank Michelle F. real quick as well for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And God bless. You guys seem to be very generous tonight, all of you guys. Thank you. We all appreciate it so very much.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's continue this clip here. Oh, somebody dog. All right, hold on.
I come in and start shooting, and
oh yeah, I forgot to mention because we almost blew over it. When Kopacka said, "I've got my rifle here and I'm going to start shooting you," who says that? Like there's several times when he says wording like, he told us, I've got my rifle here and I'm going to start shooting you. Later on, he does another weird thing where he says, when I'm saying this to the two of you. Who says that as well? Like the language that Jordan says he used doesn't even sound like normal language somebody would use in that kind of
law enforcement depiction.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Angry. I've never seen him so angry before like this ever. And I just thought, well, if he has his gun on him like he says he does, he could just shoot me right there. So I had to be really quiet.
How do you know that he has the rifle?
He showed it to me one day. He showed me he showed me his firearm, and then he showed me some, looked like hunting knives.
Okay.
That's how I know.
When is the last time you saw the rifle?
To my best knowledge, I would say 4 or 5 days ago.
4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Can I point something out with these guys real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So the most convenient thing to me with this entire situation, after all of this went down, after Jordan was talked to, Christian was talked to, they disappeared. Yep. Nobody could find them. Nobody could find anything about them. They just bye. And we dug.
Yeah. Now I understand Jordan. Is he still doing TikToks? I've heard people say you need to see Jordan's TikToks.
Yep.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
I haven't.
His TikToks are pretty out there.
It's what I mean by that is like information about where they live, what was good, that kind of stuff is what disappeared. So but the TikTok stuff, I never paid attention. I had no want to see it. But anyway, it was just odd that we couldn't find any background information, like real deal that was real on them, addresses, stuff like that. Right after this had taken place. So that's always bothered me. I just want to throw that out there too.
Yeah. Thank you, Carol, for the TGIF $4.99. You are so loved. Thank you.
Awesome, Carol.
So I'm going to play another clip here of them. So the officer tries to get him again to narrow down. Well, how many times did he threaten to kill you? Did he threaten to kill you? Was he threatening to kill you or not? Was your door shut? Did you really see the rifle or did you not see the rifle? She's trying to get him to definitively. And like I keep joking, what gets into the police report? The police report will be he was threatening to kill them with a rifle, of which Jordan said, I'm not sure if he had the rifle. He just told us he had it. I didn't actually see it. I was locked in my room all night long. But now, to be fair, gunshots are heard during the standoff. So it does appear that there was shots fired in both directions. So I'm not going to say that he didn't have a weapon, but it's odd that so much of the statement comes from a person who didn't literally he didn't see the weapon. He admits he never saw the weapon that night. But let's look at another clip where he's not sure that Kopacka was even threatening him.
But then again, I don't see, this is the tricky part. I don't know at the same time if he was talking directly at me or at something he was seeing that wasn't there. But it sounded like he was talking to me. I mean, when he was close to my door, I could see his shadow under my door, and it sounded like he was talking to me. So I don't even know if he's ever going to remember that, but I definitely remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Christian doesn't think that he was talking to Christian.
Yeah. So I want to hear. So she's asking him now, what about Christian? Does Christian think that he was talking to Christian? So listen to his answer on this.
Is there a reason why Christian doesn't think that, or why Christian wouldn't?
That I don't know.
Okay. Jordan, let me get through some things. That's okay. Has he ever used a weapon against you or threatened to use a weapon against you before today?
Before today, besides that
no.
Shouting in front of my door, no.
Yeah, and again, Jordan is very adamant. He never saw the rifle. All he did was shout outside of his door, and he wasn't sure he was even talking to him. But yet, it gets portrayed as he was telling them that he was going to kill them both and their lives were in danger. And they may have been. Like, I'm not saying that isn't. I'm just saying that the story keeps changing. And he'll say, well, the funny thing is, I never saw the weapon. I was locked in my room, and I'm not sure he was talking to me. He might have been talking to somebody else. And my roommate didn't think he was talking to us. So I don't know why that's the case. But I thought he was going to kill us.
You would think in a situation like that, you would feel the way you feel or feel threatened because they're directly talking to you and it's directed directly at you. Like, that seems really strange to me, the way he's even wording that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So then if he wasn't
Yes.
scared, why did he call the police?
Right.
Right.
Can I point something else out too, real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on scenes where people are having issues where they've been threatened with guns, knives, threatened to have their lives taken. This kid's not scared. I'm sorry, but he's not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
No.
There's no fear. I've had a gun pointed to my head before and pushed against my forehead right here. Okay. I almost pissed on myself. I'm not going to lie
Sure.
to you.
Yeah.
He's younger than me and very inexperienced, in my opinion, with things like that. I'll just say that for lack of better terms. Okay. There's no way in hell that kid was threatened to have his life taken as he's sitting here having this conversation. In my opinion, I just don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giggling and stuff. Thank you, Yuri, for the $10 for Manny's FOIA. We appreciate you.
And yes, I understand about the Jesus, you guys are awesome tonight. Thank you guys. Hey, I understand that he's schizophrenic, but see, that bothers me too, because there's no rigidity to him whatsoever. Nothing.
Yeah.
No.
There's nothing.
He's totally
relaxed. There's no shaking. There's no stuttering. There's no there's nothing, guys. I've always had issues with his interviews because of that right there. He's very calm and just
he did start the interview by saying, I know schizophrenia because I have schizophrenia, and the only difference between me and Brent is I take my medication and he doesn't. So his argument is, well, I'm taking my medication, that's why I'm under control.
Okay, that's good, but you should still be shitting yourself right now if this kid was telling you he was going to kill you. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. And I wonder. I've always wondered. I'm not going to overtake this. I'm sorry, but
no. Yeah, go ahead.
I've always wondered if this was I'm bored and he said something and I'm going to be a drama queen and make this into something more than it is. Oh, shoot, I went too far and now it's too late.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
And
that's always a possibility.
Yeah, it is. And just because somebody's taking their medicine doesn't mean it's 100% effective all the time. I mean, can't there be like things that slip in and he could have a schizophrenic episode? Could this have been a schizophrenic episode where he's thinking somebody's going to kill him and they're not?
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great
the
paranoid part. If he has paranoid schizophrenia, the paranoid part would be things like everybody's trying to kill me. Maybe my roommate's trying to kill me, and maybe he wasn't. Maybe the guy's paranoid schizophrenia kicked in, and he's thinking somebody's going to kill him.
One is my echo still there?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No, he's doing good.
He left, Joe. He went home.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Some I'm obviously not diagnosing anybody, but people with certain types of mental health issues like drama and they make stuff up and they exaggerate things. That's not
my point.
Yeah, that's not a stretch. So if whatever his issue was, whether it was schizophrenia or a personality disorder, I mean, a lot of people, we've all seen people that like put out videos and stuff and they're just literally making stuff up completely. Yeah. Just to stir shit up.
Yeah, and Susie Q, by the way, said Brent wasn't schizophrenic. That was self-diagnosed by Brent. And that might be the case. Like, I know that Brentley Kopacka had PTSD. I don't know if schizophrenia was part of his official diagnosis. So now the other question is the whole Brent's schizophrenic because I have schizophrenia and I can see schizophrenia in him. Now, granted, several people said it was common for Brent to talk to things that weren't there and talk to people that weren't there and have conversations with himself and something like that. So is that part of schizophrenia but
he also had a severe brain injury from an IED explosion that he was in the middle of. So
right.
What's what? You know what I mean? Which way do you weigh that? And how do you know it? That could just be part of his injury,
And I apologize. I was referring to the guy they were interviewing.
Yeah,
whose
Jordan.
Story's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah. I want to play a couple more clips. This clip that I had together had a part where it faded into Christian, and I can't remember what Christian says. So I'm going to roll the dice and play Christian's part because I can't remember what he said. So hold on.
What happened today?
I don't really know, honestly. He just had one of his episodes where he just goes off ranting and throwing stuff.
Did he say anything about shooting anybody?
He did, honestly. Yeah, he said he was gonna shoot. He was gonna shoot somebody. He started to say.
Now stop. He did say he was going to shoot somebody. He didn't say he was going to shoot me. He didn't say he's going to shoot the roommates. He didn't say he was going to shoot us, but he was saying he was going to shoot somebody generically. And look at how unconcerned Christian Ian is. Yeah, he did kind of say something like that, but he was on one of his episodes. It's just something he fucking does. Like, he's not concerned and no fear for his life, which I think bothers these officers, that he's not giving them that you were terrified for your life because he was going to kill you, right? No, like he said he was going to shoot somebody, but I didn't think it was me.
Yeah.
And the other thing is he just saying that? Is he just parroting her because she's, to me,
feeding the question?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question. All right, let's finish what he says here real quick.
Like, he started cussing a couple of times.
All right, that was it.
Oh no.
Then she, what? He cussed. Oh yeah, I know.
He's cussing. Oh my God.
I know. Even Jordan is like, I don't want to repeat the words, but he was saying MF for this and MF for that. Oh yeah. Here's another. I don't know if you guys are going to find this as weird to me, and I don't know how well you know the layout. I didn't show it on the video, and I'm not showing it here. The bedroom layout. These people who are all living and sharing this apartment apparently don't even know the bedroom numbers inside their own apartment that they're living in. They've been there for 2 months, and they don't seem to understand where the bedroom layout is. Listen to this diatribe here, and I'll see if we can piece it together when we're done.
Does Brent have a window outside?
Yes, but it's further to. So if you're in the apartment, it's further to the left.
Okay.
So there's a window in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Christian's room. He has a window.
Okay.
And then there's Brent's. So he is 1, 2, 3 windows down this way if you're in the apartment.
So if I were to go into the apartment,
right,
you've got Christian's room, and then there's a door. Is that door next to Christian's room a bathroom, or is it?
That's like the door next to Christian's. That's Brent's room, and then
that's Brent's room.
Right across Christian's room is the bathroom.
Okay. You live in apartment 311? 311. And what's your unit number?
B.
B. Okay. Is there anybody else in the apartment?
Yeah, room A.
Room A.
So your other roommate said that this roommate is making threats to kill you guys, and he's got a rifle. So
Is there A, B, and C, or is there a fourth?
I know it's not a rifle; it's a pistol, and he's been acting like this for quite a while now.
Okay.
At this point,
which room is he in?
Room A.
He's in room A.
Yeah.
Now he's wrong. Brent Kopacka is in room C. Room A is immediately to your right as you come into the apartment. Straight ahead of you is room B, and to the left is room C. And he's pointing to where Brent's at and saying he's in room A. Room A is Jordan's room immediately off to the right-hand side. So he's completely wrong about his own apartment numbers inside of his apartment, which I find is weird. Let's continue.
Yeah, one over in that corner.
So the room right off to the right.
He's in this one over here?
No, to the left. So that's my door right there. Room A is just right on the other side.
All right. Heidi, can you take him down to his roommate in the parking lot?
So, I mean, those who know the layout of the apartment know room A is right off to the side. It's not the one in the corner. Brent Kopacka's room is room C in the corner. A is right beside him. So it's weird that he doesn't know his apartment layout. I just find that a little bizarre. And then I think I got one more or two more clips to play. Oh, this always bugged me. So there's 2 clips I think that I at least want to play. My brother, Brent Kopacka, asked Christian or Gabrielle Yenna if he had ever gotten in a fight with his brother. That's what Christian will say. Brent asked me one time if I had ever fought his brother, and he's concerned about letting his brother go. And the officer asked him, "What do you mean? What did Brent mean by let my brother go?" Let's listen to that.
He said something about letting his brother go. He's asked me before if I even fought his brother, and I've never met anybody from his family.
Letting his brother go. What did you take that to mean?
Like he made it sound like somebody was holding him against his will.
Okay.
And the weird part about the let my brother go and holding his brother against his will is when I requested public records request of all of Brentley Kopacka's files, I got videos from Zach Kopacka the night before, his brother, in an incident nearby the coffee house apartments. And I was like, why the fuck am I getting an incident with Zach Kopacka and his girlfriend in a domestic situation related to Brentley Kopacka's files? it just, I don't know. Have you guys ever made anything about what does it mean by he's concerned about my brother and let my brother go and wanted to know if I fought his brother? Like, what is the brother thing? It just slips by in conversation.
That's a very good question.
I'm lost on that myself.
Yeah.
It seems like something you want to follow up on.
Do we know, did they actually arrest his brother?
No, I don't believe they arrested his brother in the domestic. I don't think.
Because I wonder if Brent was under the impression that the cops still may have had him and wanted to know if they were going to release his brother.
And that incident, I think, was the night after the shooting. So that's the other thing I'm confused
after.
about.
Oh, I thought you said before. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I think it was the night after the shooting. I think. And to be fair, when they talked, and what I remember from the domestic that we watched was the officers said they didn't have cause to take him away, to take anybody. So they got called on a domestic, but they didn't have cause to take one of them away or something like that. So they didn't apparently grab him. I don't know, but you're right. Like in a typical Washington state kind of situation, if there's a domestic, one of them is leaving. So if they took Brent or Zach Kopacka away from a domestic call that night, then maybe that's what he meant by let him go. And if it did happen the night before, but anyways, it was just a very interesting side conversation. And I think I'm going to play my big coup de grace from the morning's video. Oh yeah, that should start with awkward questions. Did I miss the lead in? Awkward questions. All right. Do you guys recall, before I play this video, and I may be reaching at straws, I may be really grasping at straws, but several people, including Brent Kopacka's best friend, Darren Duncan, who was interviewed, saying, I think the officers thought Brent was involved in the Idaho 4 murders, and that's why they were quick to shoot. That's what his friend said. I think they thought he was involved. I also think the officers thought Brent Kopacka was involved in the Idaho 4 murders. Heidi's questioning, in my opinion, in two different incidents that I'm going to clip together here, indicate to me that she's got the Idaho 4 murders on her mind when she's interviewing for this case. Why do I say that? One, there's no indication whatsoever in the house that there was any football paraphernalia anywhere at all. One of the first things she asks Jordan about Brent Kopacka, tell me everything you know about Brent Kopacka. She's going to ask him randomly, out of the blue, unprompted, was he ever a football, or is he a football coach? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? There's no reference to football anywhere. But it is interesting if you know that Kaylee Gonzalez allegedly had a relationship with the football coach as a babysitter, and they were looking into Kaylee's relationship with the football coach. So if this officer who's just randomly asking questions, tell me everything you know about Brent Kopacka and was he a football coach? If she knows that Kaylee, one of the victims, had a relationship with a football coach and she's trying to make the connection, is this guy one of the football coaches? That would make sense, wouldn't it? What other, and there's no other fucking reason why she asked that question. Another question that she's going to ask out of the blue was, did Brent Kopacka ever choke you? There's no fucking reason for that question. They're talking about a firearm that he never even saw that night. And she's like, did he ever choke you? Why would you ask the question, did he choke you? The reason I bring that up, and this is where I may be really, really stretching. You guys remember all the discussion about that Kaylee may have been choked. Steve Gonzalez indicated that somebody put a hand over her mouth like this. An officer that was telling Lanier, I think it was Connor, was telling Officer Lanier, or not the officer, what was his role at the time? Was he lead detective or was he, anyways, he was saying, I don't know if you know what happened here. And then he showed his hands like this, like he was making a choking motion, like somebody shoving somebody against the wall and choking him. There was indications that they were choked or somebody was choked or Kayla was choked. So why did she throw out, did he ever choke you? Did he ever stalk you? Did he ever spy on you? Which are all allegations. They said Kohberger was stalking the girls. He was spying on them. He may have choked them. Kaylee may have been involved with a football coach. These questions out of Heidi Lamley's mouth makes me think she had the Idaho 4 murders on her mind when she was interviewing, trying to make a connection between Idaho and Brent Kopacka. So let's just listen and you guys see if I'm just completely overreaching that on that.
He has a gun?
He has a gun, yep.
Has he ever tried to choke you?
No.
Is he jealous or try and control you?
No.
And is he unemployed? Has he ever tried to kill himself?
Not Not that I'm aware of, no.
Does he follow or spy on you or leave threatening messages?
He's spied on me a couple times, but he's never left threatening messages.
Okay. Tell me everything you know about Brent as quick as you can.
I believe he has some sort of mental illness. He drinks, that I know. So there's nights where he drinks. Sometimes he'll come in at odd times of the night.
What color is he?
He's like white.
White.
Caucasian.
Is he big or small?
Small. Very thin.
So he's 35.
35.
35 years old.
35.
Where's he from?
I believe Colorado.
Colorado.
If I'm not mistaken.
Was he a football coach?
Coach, that I don't know.
Okay.
Why the fuck was he a football coach? What? I don't know. Does he eat cookies on Tuesday? Like, why the fuck would you ask a random question that seems to have nothing to do with anything? That's what I want to know. Why would she throw? Is he a football coach? So I find her questions possibly indicative of she knows information about the Idaho 4 murders, and she's trying to make a connection between this situation and Idaho.
Bingo. Yep.
Definitely.
So that's all I got for my sharing of videos. But
let me ask you then real quick, because you've been on, and it's good. You've been on this for a minute now with him, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, in your opinion, Lee, that could be the connection with this, if there is one?
I go 50-50. One, there's a part of me that thinks that Brent was an all around mostly nice guy. And so I don't know that he did the murders, although I think he's possible of it, because people say he would go from nice to instant rage in an instant. So if he was there that night and snapped, could he have done something? And he certainly would have had the skills to do so. So could he have? Yes. Is he that kind of guy? I don't know that he is. But I think more importantly, I think they were looking into him as a possible suspect. I think they were harassing him. I think they were following him. I think they were getting in his face, and he was getting fucking tired of it. And when they came to him that night, he was basically like, I fucking hate you guys. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want to deal with your shit. And they pushed him over the edge until it got to the death point. And I think it was more, he knew they were going to try to pin the murders on him, and he was having none of it. And that's what I feel. But
this is why I asked you this question, because of that statement right there, because there was a statement made way back in the beginning when this all first came down, so on and so forth, that James Fry, who was the Moscow PD chief of police at that time, had a relationship and a history with Brett Kopacka. Okay. And I wondered the way, because I don't care what anybody says, it's not in documents, that's fine. There were Moscow PD police officers on that scene that night. Okay. There were. End of story. Including him, in my opinion. I believe the chief was there. So I want to know, was this something that they were, like you said, in an aspect, pointing at very hardly? And this was this was it right here. You know what I mean?
I do think Brett Payne, having served in the 82nd Airborne, maybe when they all saw the crime scene and saw what looked like somebody had been chopped up with a knife and stabbed, a whole bunch of people were stabbed with a knife. He may have, because of his military training, made some kind of comment about understanding how that's done or knowing something about it, which showed you he knows the kind of people who can do that. And again, he's a vet from the 82nd Airborne. Brent Kopacka is a vet from the 82nd Airborne. You don't think those guys could have been to a VFW together and fucking had a few drinks together and maybe known each other and formed a brotherhood because and maybe it was as simply as, I know a guy who could do something like this. I know a guy who could kill 4 people in a few minutes with a K-bar knife, but they didn't even know it was a K-bar necessarily at that point. But the point being is that was it simply a matter of that got Brett Payne put on the case? Was it simply a matter of that got Brent Lee Kopacka on the suspicious list because Brent said, yeah, I know people that could do something like that. And that's got him on the radar,
Right. Exactly.
So yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. I think Kopacka was the original patsy for this whole thing.
And again, I don't know what to feel about it other than you know, when I originally heard the name Brent Kopacka and his details, and that he was killed a month in, and part of the reason why it stuck out to me in the very first, one of the first things that stuck out to me is Brian Koberger left the same night as the shooting. Him and his father left for Pennsylvania the same night of the shooting. And one of the weird, like the way my mind works is, was there any kind of weird scenario in which a month after, because it was like a month and a day after the murders, where a group of people who did the murders, let's say it was a group of people, did they agree to get back together again at some random apartment with no fucking furniture in it and talk over what happened that night? Let's all go undercover and make sure this all blows over, and let's meet in a month to talk about things. Did Koberger leave after that meeting? Did shit go sideways? And then Kopacka was like, you're not going to fucking pin this on me and leave me with the, you know, like, was there multiple people that could have known about it and all kind of went their separate ways? And I don't think that anymore. Like, I don't necessarily think that there was some kind of meeting between Koberger and Kopacka the night before Koberger left, but the timing was what drew my attention to it. It's like, you're going to tell me that there's no coincidence between. And again, then the ties got weirder when I found that Kopacka's family had houses in Pennsylvania, an hour and a half away from the Kobergers in Pennsylvania. Also, I was like, well, that's fucking not a coincidence. And on and on.
You also got to think about, why is he living where he is?
Right.
Yeah.
Why was Kopacka there? I'm not trying to, you know, we don't know. I'm just putting it up there to think. What was he, in his mid 30s? Was he?
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, 35.
Why is he living in a college spot right there?
Right.
Like,
with no furniture.
Why? What is going on? And I'm just gonna say, the thread there, someone who would be, whether he was or not, someone who would be involved, the thread, in some kind of drugs.
Yeah, right. Pull that
some
thread.
way, whatever, some kind of dealing or some kind of drug operation, something. That is a prime place. I mean, I don't know how many times we've said, like, anyone who's gone away to college, drugs are there. He's not going to college. He's not. We can't. You know. Why move there? Why there? There's a million places.
Yeah,
So,
and those of us who have listened to hours and hours and hours of the standoff, we all I feel universally that there was no attempt to de-escalate that situation. All they did was antagonize him and egg him into escalating to the point that it got him killed.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They were trying to help him.
Right.
Brent, pick up the phone.
I call him the phone every
Get the phone, Brent.
That phone's for you.
Thanks.
Well, you know, since we don't know what he was doing there, and he supposedly wasn't working, if, you know, a lot of veterans become contractors, and it may not be for the government directly. And there's a lot of NGOs, and there's a lot of security type of NGOs that will hire special forces guys and guys with specific military backgrounds. We know there was a multi-agency task force in the area, and a lot of government type agencies, they farm out stuff to contractors. Like, for example, everybody probably knows who Sean Ryan is, right? He's got the big podcast.
Of course.
Sean Ryan was a Navy SEAL. Well, what did he do after the Navy SEALs? He was a CIA contractor, right? It wasn't, he worked for a company that was contracted by the CIA. Yeah. So we don't know if there were NGOs also operating. Right. I haven't heard anything about that in the area. So I've brought this up before. There's a chance that Kopacka was in that area because he was working as for a company that does contracting.
Was there ever a job listed for Brent whenever everything came down after all this?
We've been looking all over the place. All you got is rumors. There's nothing. And look, people said he didn't have a job because he didn't need to. He had a good had a good severance package from the military. He had plenty of money. So he wasn't hurting financially, from what I understand. But
but I remember he's got very specialized skills. So he definitely
right. And I only bring that up is because if it was a government related thing and it was working on some sort of a multi-agency operation, they're not going to release that information. You know,
no, of course not.
Anything that has to do with that can be even peripherally connected to national security, you're not seeing that. Nobody without clearance is seeing that stuff.
Yeah, real quick, Mama J, to clarify, I think we can reconcile the different. We can reconcile the differences on this. Brent Kopacka had enough money that he could afford to stay in hotels anytime he wanted to. A lot of people don't even have enough money to go check themselves in a hotel. Like he had money he had money to buy alcohol all the time. He had money to get a hotel room whenever he wanted to go sleep off somewhere. So he had cash funds. So now I didn't say he was swimming in money, but I'm saying is he had room and board paid for it and money for alcohol, is what I'm saying. Now that doesn't make you rich. Never really wanted to imply he's rich, but he had money to pay the bills without having to work, is what I'm saying. He had money, he had a government paycheck coming in and had money to buy alcohol and to get hotel rooms
and access too.
I still like to know why he had 2 active addresses at the same time. It's still a big question of mine.
And somebody asked when he was in the service. So my best understanding of when he was in the service was sometime between 2006, 2010 period. And for those who want to know about Brett Payne, I believe he got some kind of acknowledgement in 2012. So some people think that means that they can't overlap. I think they did overlap actually. But so that's the rough time frame that Brent Kopacka was in 82nd Airborne, I believe. But and I've got it definitively. Like I actually got public records back. I got literal FOIA records back from the Army about Brent Lee Kopacka and his actual years of service. I just don't have it memorized off the top of my head, but I got the paperwork.
So I don't know if I don't necessarily agree with this. I mean, we don't know exactly his diagnosis and everything, but he was too unstable. He has very, very specialized skills. So that's part of the problem, you know, the PTSD, and he can't, you know, things set him off and he can't separate himself. But if he is part of, you know, hired to do an operation, actually that's where he would be thinking clearly. Like I don't, you know.
I remember hearing a rumor in the very beginning that he was doing some kind of computer something for WSU.
There was a rumor he had an IT job at Pullman.
Yeah, right.
There was a rumor he had a security job at Pullman. Both of which I've never been able to verify other than rumors.
No.
It's all I hear. I only hear it as rumors. I've never heard any verified.
Tried to, yeah. There's nothing listed. In fact, I think they tried to blame the whole when the internet went down on campus at night, blah 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 stuff on him. I mean, that's the problem is there's too many rumors and not enough fact.
Yeah. And there's tons of rumors that have been out there for forever. And I guess all I want to say about that is that until we can dispel all the rumors, it's still an interesting part of the story, I think.
Yeah. And it's speculation. I mean, obviously. Yeah. Nobody's making a claim that this is verified facts. It's speculation. He was a veteran. He had combat experience. You know, he may have been discharged because of a traumatic brain injury, but that doesn't mean that there's not some work that he could have been doing. Mm-hmm. And SEL was right there in Pullman, and they apparently do government contracting. So,
you know, sorry about that.
Yeah. All right, real quick before we finish up for tonight, because we're about at the 2 hour. We're actually getting to be past. But what? You got?
I just got here.
I know you fucking got in late. That's what happens.
Whatever, bitches. I'm done.
So when Logan
screw
came
you,
on
I'm going home.
When Logan came on backstage, she said she had a few things that she might want to bring up. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that, Logan? You want to save it for you? What do you want to do?
I'll do it really quick. They're just case updates. First, I want to say, didn't Kopacka's whole thing go down the same day that they got Brian Koberger's name? The first day they got Brian Koberger's name?
No. They already kind of had Koberger on the radar from
the 5th, not the 15th.
He was leaving.
Right?
So the day that the Kopacka thing happened, that he supposed, you know, the operation. So that day, however many hours before, Brian was on his way across country with his father.
Right. Yeah. I know that, but I thought I have the days mixed up. It was the 5th, not the 15th. I was thinking it was the 15th.
Yeah, they and in fact,
you good.
According to Brett Payne, they didn't know the name Brian Koberger until what date was it? The December
19th.
19th.
But it's in the documents on the 5th.
Right, but we know Koberger's name shows up on documents on the 5th, so that's bullshit. But
real quick, I just want to say thank you, Hangman, very much for the 5 gifted memberships. That's very, very awesome. Christine Hurd, Crud Dog, Hobbit on the Shelf.
I love that.
Monica Latressa, Cheryl Reddy, and yes, welcome to the sauce. Appreciate that so very much, Hangman. God bless. Very generous. Sorry to interrupt.
That's awesome. No, that's so awesome. Okay, so
and Meg, thank you again, hun, for the super chat. God bless, hun.
Give us some case updates.
I also want to say thank you to Kathan and Bianca, because with you two, we hit our goal tonight of 10 out of 10. And I think that's the first time that's ever happened. So, and thank you, Offset Guitar. So much appreciated. You guys are amazing tonight. My goodness. So amazing. Yeah. So we have some case updates that are just high profile cases that have happened in the past. If you guys remember Shonda Vander Ark case, the mother convicted of torturing her 15-year-old son to death appeared in court for a Ginther hearing, seeking a new trial. Her defense claims she was in a catatonic state during the trial and she deserves a new trial. A Ginther hearing is that she needs to produce evidence for her defense for a new trial.
Right.
Interesting.
So, yep. Breonna Taylor case that happened in Kentucky. She was shot when there was officers outside her apartment. They shot and she was hit and killed. Back in 2020, the U.S. Justice Department moved to drop remaining federal charges against 2 former Louisville police officers involved in the 2020 raid, describing the prosecution as federal overreach.
I might remember that story. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was crazy. Ashley Oakland in Iowa, it was a cold case, but there has been an arrest. Kristen Ramsey has been charged in the 2011 murder of an Iowa realtor, and she is asking a judge to reduce her $2 million bond to $100,000.
Wow.
In San Antonio, Texas, a 14-year-old boy who pleaded guilty to manslaughter for shooting his 8-year-old brother was sentenced to 10 years of probation, including 6 to 12 months in juvenile custody. And in Los Angeles, a man was sentenced to life without parole for killing his girlfriend less than a year after being released for 2 previous murders. And those are the case updates for today.
You know,
I like that.
No, the one about
sorry.
You like that? You like that?
No. I like that, like what she just did. The whole here's a few other true crime cases going on in the world. Here's some updates, Bob. I like that. Is what I meant. Sorry
super quick, but informative.
Yeah,
Logan, I think you should do some videos where you catch bugs. I think there'd be a big audience for that.
Do I have a hidden talent?
Yeah. I was going to say an interesting nuance of children killing children is that in a lot of states under a certain age, the law says you're incapable of committing a crime. And that's the definition of a lot of things that you're in that's why you have juvenile records that aren't viewed once you get to be an adult, because what you do as a child, you don't have the mental capacity to fully know right and wrong. So sometimes you have some really weird cases where a child kills another child and they're like, well, it can't be murder because children are incapable of committing murder because you can't commit a crime under a certain age. I think it's very nuanced. Now, sometimes they try those children as adults and they have to make special circumstances to do so. But I guess that's a topic for another day. Pretty deep. One of these days, we're going to have a high profile case with a child killing a child, and we're going to have to get into the whole, are you capable of committing a crime if you're under a certain age?
Right.
But yeah. So, well, anyways, thank you guys all for coming on a Freaky Friday, Fuck It Friday, whatever you want to call it Friday. I've given out a few memberships. I can't remember if I gave up 5. I was going to give 5. I may have only given 4, so maybe I'll give 1 more on the way out. For those who want to join me, and I don't know who else might join me, but everybody on the panel is welcome to come to my members only side. If you don't have a membership, I can send you the link so you can get backstage and get on camera. But I'll hang out for a little while and see how it goes. If only 2 people show up or 1 person shows up, then I'll just fuck it and go play a video game or something like that. But otherwise, I'll hang out with people and we'll chit chat and you can ask me anything. And maybe I'll tell you my mom's Marlboro story which is completely inappropriate for this panel. But anyways, let's do around the horn. Let's go Robin 1-1, Logan, JJ, and then Dago, and then I'll close this for the night. So Robin, what do you have for closing?
Well, thank you for coming out, everyone. We appreciate you all so very much. You have all been extremely generous tonight, and we appreciate your supporting all of our channels as we all fight for, more truth and transparency and holding the powers that be accountable and to be transparent with the information that they have, things that we as the public are supposed to be able to see and hear. And we appreciate you so much. And whether you are here live or you're on the replay crew, you're just as important to us either way. And also want to thank all the, Lee and the rest of the panelists for their dedication being here, almost every night. And it's great to be here with everyone. And keep in mind, Sundays as well, we're starting it at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Sunday night show. This week, we're starting... sorry, the cat scared me. We're starting the John Benet Ramsey case. So you may want to tune into that, because with Othram potentially going to be getting involved in that case,
They're going to solve that case.
Kind of revisit that case. So so I would encourage you to tune in and go through it with us. We do a deep dive. So we're really, really excited about that. So hopefully you will tune in with us, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, and to further what she just said, I was at CrimeCon last year. So was JJ. We were at CrimeCon last year, and they had John Ramsey on stage to talk about the John Benet Ramsey thing. And somebody, because that whole CrimeCon was essentially a promotional vehicle for Othram Labs, somebody in the audience, I think it was a Fed question, said, how about we get Othram Labs involved in the John Benet Ramsey thing? And they said, well, funny you asked that. They are getting involved. And everybody's like, So yes, Othram Labs is going to solve the fucking John Benet Ramsey case. You watch. It's going to be a big thing. It's going to be another feather in their cap, because they are on a money-making mission right now to solve all crimes in America. So get boned up on John Benet Ramsey. It's probably going to be back when Othram's going to be at the head of that front. I bet you. I just have a gut feeling. All right, 1-1. What do you
got? Great Friday night show. Love the discussions. Thank you to our amazing panel. All of the channels joining us. Everyone coming to join us each and every night. Thank you for the amazing gifts and support. Thank you to all the amazing mods as always. And I hope you are healing and feeling better. Essie, I hope you recover sooner than later. And we have really great show planned for you guys on Sunday. As Robin stated, we are starting a deep dive into John Benet Ramsey. That's a little thorn in me. I've been super interested in that case for a long. I've probably watched more documentaries and read more on that case than even Idaho 4, oddly enough. So I can't wait to dive into that and just hear what everyone else has to what they think, and talk about all the inconsistencies and douchebag fuckery and nonsense that has gone on a long time in our legal system. So I will now leave you with my daily movie quote. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Spit.
Holy hell, son. You're about as useful as a cock-flavored lollipop. And will someone catch a goddamn ball? It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there. I'm being told that Average Joe's does not have enough players and will be forfeiting the championship match. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Oh my gosh.
Dodgeball.
You got it.
Wow.
Good job, Joe.
There's
I'm
some
trying to think of the movie.
I thought it had to be dodgeball.
Yeah,
you got it.
Because I remember crazy lines.
You're about you're about as useful as a cock lollipop.
Flavored
Flavored
lollipop.
lollipop.
Whoa.
That was
That's
not
new.
even
I don't even remember that. I'm gonna use that one.
When he threw that, I was like, oh my God, I'm glad it's Friday because that shit was unexpected.
I think I actually know somebody I'll be saying that to too.
All right. On that note, Logan, how you doing?
Hello. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. First, I want to thank the panel for just having me here. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm having an echo, and I'm not sure why. Thank you to everybody who gifted tonight. We actually met our goal for the first time ever, and I just want to thank everybody. You guys are incredible. Just thanks, everybody, for tuning in always. Some people say they really like the new time slot, so we appreciate that as well. Do something nice for yourself. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. And we will have a moment of silence for Manny the Moth tonight. And thank you for acknowledging my bug catching skills. I appreciate all of you. Good night.
You were amazing. Yeah, with the moth catching thing. I don't know who can do the channels, but let's get those channel names out for everybody's channel that's running a YouTube channel, so everybody can know how to subscribe to everybody and get that going. And oh my God. Okay.
Do you have a moth over there?
That or a medical issue. I'm hearing some weird ass ringing in my ears right now, which is fucking unusual. So let's get off the stage before I fall out or something. All right, JJ, what do you got?
Hey, everybody. I have a great idea. Let's all just volunteer our DNA to Othram Labs. And that way everybody can be safe.
Take him down now. Take him down.
Never have to worry about
Get him out of here.
They'll be solved before they...
damn CIA freaks. Get him out of here.
JJ.
I'm just playing with you, JJ.
Who's got the controls?
I have invisible capabilities. That's one of the things I learned in the CIA.
CIA. Yes. See?
Yeah. Well,
I can just snap my fingers and disappear.
Get that weak ass sauce off the stage. All right, well, thank you for joining us tonight. And
yes, and thank you to the advocates. Thank you, the denizens, meatballs, the believers, and the great mods. As always, a fun Friday night stream. So I'll be back tomorrow.
JJ, I'll donate my DNA if you donate yours. You go first.
Oh, they've already got mine.
Oh,
they've had his. They created him, Logan. What are you talking about?
Oh crap! I forgot.
I was
take that
made
back.
in a lab.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
When they arrest me for whatever they're going to arrest me for, whatever it was, it's bullshit, trumped up charges. I didn't do it. It's horseshit, and you guys should know better.
Wow.
Just getting that
I got
out right after
I
that.
got your DNA.
All
I
right.
don't need IG.
I know you do. So when you trump me up for shit, that's bullshit right there. But anyways, so thank you for coming to a Crimes After Dark. Again, for those who want to hang out after the show, I'm going to fire up in about 15 minutes the members only live. So if you want to hang out with that would be a great opportunity to join us. Some of you I'm going to give one more free membership, as a matter of fact, because I think I only gave 4 out. I was going to give 5 for the night on a Friday and kind of hand out some candy. So let me do one more roll real quick, and then I will close up.
Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
Can I say something real quick? You skipped.
Fuck no, you were already on fucking camera. You get no fucking second chance. I'm just kidding. What do you want? What do you got?
You skipped me.
What do you want?
So I come in here late and I'm just completely stepped all over.
You know what? Shut your mouth and know your role.
I wasn't even going to be here, but I came in anyway.
You know what, Diego? Why don't you go ahead and do a close first?
You motherfucker. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight. I know I've only been here for 15 minutes, but hey, I'm still here, guys.
It was quality. It's not
a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, I love it. I love you guys. I love being here, which is why I came in anyway, because it is what it is. I love being here and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me up here, even though he's ignoring me tonight. It is what it is. I'm grateful to be here. Lee and 1-1, Robin, JJ, and Miss Logan. It's always amazing to do what we do. Thank you to all the moderators that did show up. And you guys are amazing, guys. Don't forget, please don't forget, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Verdict Room with myself, Bronx Tales True Crime with Miss Logan, Typically Unique and Miss Kim, and my awesome producer, Mikey. The last 24 will be joined by Miss Lana from Truth Transparency. Please be there or you're square. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, don't change nothing. You truly are the beautiful people, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just totally dodged you, but well, you know,
I can. I see where we're at now.
That was the best 15 minutes of my life, just like your wife said. So anyways, it's I appreciate it. So thank you so much for
again.
I'm Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. Great show. Great show.
All right, everybody. Again, catch us on if you want. Some of us may be joining on the after show. If it doesn't happen like for more than like 5 people, we'll go shut it down. But otherwise, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Next.
What happened?
What the fuck's going on with the music? Are you trying to play me out on the music? It's like
the angels are coming down.
Play them out. All right, that's it, people. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow night. Same thing. Hopefully the same channel and all that good stuff. Take it easy and have a great one.
Good night, everybody.